2.5 million stone blocks, each weighing more than a car, built over 4,500 years ago without a single piece of modern machinery. How did they do it? This question has haunted engineers for centuries. Welcome to the greatest engineering mystery of the ancient world. The year is 2560 BCE. Pharaoh Khufu has just announced his vision, a tomb that would touch the sky, a monument that would stand forever. The challenge? Move 2.3 million blocks across the desert. Each block averaged 2.5 tons. Some weighed over 15 tons, and they had no iron tools, no wheels, no pulleys as we know them. So, how did they cut through solid limestone? With copper? The answer lies in a technique that sounds almost too simple. Workers carved narrow slots into the limestone, then inserted dry wooden wedges. They poured water onto the wedges. The wood expanded with incredible force. The limestone cracked along perfect lines, clean, precise, controlled. But cutting the stones was only the beginning. Now came the impossible task, moving them 13 kilometers to Giza. Herodotus, the Greek historian, described this in 450 BCE. He claimed 100,000 men worked in rotating shifts. They used wooden sledges, simple but engineered with precision. Here's the genius. They poured water on the sand ahead of the sledge. Wet sand reduced friction by half. Modern physics proved them right. For blocks across the Nile, they built specialized wooden barges. Each barge was calculated to handle exact weight distribution. At Giza, they faced the ultimate challenge: perfect alignment. The base had to be perfectly square, aligned to true north. They used the stars, tracking celestial movements with wooden instruments, the Mercaton Bay, tools that turned starlight into perfect angles. Now came the most debated question. How did they lift blocks upward? Archaeologists proposed 3 theories, each with evidence and problems. Theory 1, a straight external ramp. But this would require more material than the pyramid itself. Theory 2, a spiral ramp wrapping around. But corner precision becomes impossible. Theory 3, internal ramps. Recent discoveries suggest they may have used all 3 methods. Positioning each block required absolute precision, gaps smaller than a knife blade. Modern engineers measure gaps of less than half a millimeter. They ground surfaces using copper tools and abrasive sand hour after hour, 20 years. That's how long this monument took to build. These weren't slaves. Recent discoveries show they were paid workers, paid in bread, beer, and onions. Their rations were recorded in detail. They had medical care. Broken bones were set, injuries were treated. The final touch: white limestone casing stones, polished to reflect the sun. Ancient historians wrote that it shone like a jewel in the desert. When finished, it stood 146 meters tall, the tallest structure for 3,800 years. But it wasn't alone. An entire city of the dead surrounded it. Inside, corridors and chambers were built with mathematical precision. The king's chamber, where Pharaoh Khufu would rest for eternity. The internal structure rivals the external achievement. Engineering genius. At every level, workers left their marks, names of teams, friends of Khufu, inscribed in stone. These inscriptions proved they were proud workers, not forced labor. They were buried near the pyramids, an honor reserved for those who served with distinction. For over 4,000 years, these monuments have stood against time. Over centuries, the white casing was stripped, stolen for other buildings. The stones built Cairo's mosques, The pyramid's exterior became the city's interior. Modern technology confirms what seems impossible. The alignment is nearly perfect. Engineers still study these methods, trying to understand the precision. Modern attempts to recreate these methods prove just how skilled they were. Today, surrounded by a modern city, it still inspires wonder. Millions visit each year, each asking the same question: how? The answer isn't one technique. It's thousands working in perfect coordination. Human ingenuity, human determination, human hands built the impossible. And 45 centuries later, it still stands, a testament to what humanity can achieve.